Are we ready to go?
Yes.
Dope. Welcome back to New Cammack. Our heroes find themselves in the suspiciously well-defended office building of a pyramid scheme called Timeshare Condos Unlimited, which they suspect is connected to the attack on Palladian's church where Prince Archibald was beaten into torpor, as well as the disappearance of Darby's child, Jade DeWitt. Darby disguised himself as a TCU guard after knocking out a member of the company's security force and stripping him naked, later disposing of the evidence by burying Darby's own clothes and personal effects, as well as the unconscious guard, under a very large potted ficus tree in the building's lobby. After successfully convincing another guard over the radio not to check the security cameras after hearing this commotion in the lobby, Darby and Ovacxe, the alternate personality of Excavo, went to the top floor of the building where they found a surveillance room with a view of all of TCU's security cameras. There, they saw Augustyn in the basement, surrounded by 3 TCU guards and unaware of another 4 large creatures lurking in the shadows. Augustyn observed that one of the 3 guards had been beaten unconscious and was recovering on a cot, and another was nursing a bullet wound in his side, which Augustyn himself caused earlier during the van chase from Palladian's church to Timeshare Condos Unlimited. Posing convincingly as a doctor, he took some seeds that he'd collected from the ficus tree in the lobby and crammed them into the wounded guard's bullet wound, then with an extraordinarily good roll, made them grow extraordinarily violently into a full-grown ficus tree inside of the guard's body, presumably killing him.
Can I share my note on that really quick? What I wrote down.
Oh yeah.
We had switched from our scene to Augustyn, so I wrote back to Augustyn, and I quote, "He just fucking saunters into the guards area and asks about the gunshot wound."
Yeah, just out of nowhere, looking ridiculous.
Just walks right in.
It's like, hey guys, what's up? Let me put fingers in you. And I think it was
I was rolling hot tonight, man.
I think it was even a higher difficulty roll, and you just nailed
disgusting.
I was rolling so hot. That's how I know tonight's where it all goes fucking south for me.
Oh, TPK incoming for sure. We are all gonna die.
Like, you were so weird and you rolled so high that it had this effect of, it convinced them you must be the greatest doctor in the world, like a savant of some sort.
At least one of them. One of the dumb ones was like, yeah, this guy must really know what he's doing.
Whoever was most likely to join some Ponzi scheme. Hit that guy.
Is this what homeopathy is?
Yeah.
So, Augustyn made a tree grow inside of this guard, hopefully killing the poor guy.
Or I made a tree out of the guard.
Well, this prompted the remaining conscious guard to panic and stammer into his radio, and 4 much larger guards wearing riot gear and raincoats to charge at Augustyn, emerging from the shadows. But then, all of a sudden, Darby burst through a door and placed himself between them and Augustyn, because Darby is Augustyn's best friend and would not allow any harm to come to him.
Oh, Darby's got a full-on messianic complex happening and thinks he can save the world. Augustyn just incidentally. He's the closest representative of the world to this room.
The closest member of the world.
That's right.
So Darby insisted on a 4-on-1 fight, much to the horror of Ovacxe, who was still observing all of this from the surveillance room on the 3rd floor, and much to the renewed horror of myself, who checked over combat mechanics rules, and difficulty is supposed to increase if it's a multiple people on one fight, and unfortunately it will in this session. Currently, Darby has had his TCU guard helmet knocked off because the because the big dudes in the raincoats have been just trying to punch him. And his pet squirrel, which was inside his helmet for some reason, tossed into the distance, but the squirrel is otherwise unharmed. It bounced off of a windshield in this parking garage that they're in. One of the large, monstrous-looking guards with bone spikes protruding from their knuckles has had the front of his neck melted by Augustyn's new fungalmancy power, whatever we were calling it. Augustyn was able to activate the fungal spores that are coating all surfaces, specifically the ones on the neck of this guy, and they immediately started dissolving all the organic material on the front of his headstock, turning him into a bit of a human ? Pez dispenser.
Augustyn did not come here to simply destroy. He came here to also disturb and disrespect.
And confuse.
Just disrespectful. Another one of the big monster-looking guards in raincoats has been tackled by Darby, who is now going in for a bite. The one behind Darby...
He's the lucky one.
Oh, yeah. The one behind Darby, Pez dispenser. The one in front of Darby got tackled. Darby's trying to bite him. The ones to the left and right of Darby are still just trying to wail on him. Meanwhile, Augustyn is attempting to use his green path powers to puppeteer the guard who is full of ficus, since he can make plants move. I guess that extends to plants that are inside of people. This is something I don't think anyone anticipated the green path being used for.
Look, you make the rules, man. You're letting this happen.
It does not contradict.
Grant just washing his hands of all responsibility here. Oh, it's my player.
It fits all the rules as written. I have no reason to contradict this. So, in the last session, we were not quite... quick status update. Darby is down to 5 of 20 blood points. Scabo, 9 of 15 blood points. Augustyn, 11 of 15. Everyone has a decent amount of willpower points left. We had not yet finished round 2. There were a couple things that we needed to do. One of them is when Darby tackled the guard in front of him, he should have rolled for damage because he was slamming the dude into the ground. That is going to be a strength plus potence plus 5 roll because of the tackle, the extra successes on the tackle roll for bashing damage against this dude.
Did I do this wrong?
A D10? What?
I
Trying to roll 13
What?
d10.
Oh, 13 D10s. Yeah, that doesn't look great.
Looks like.
Uh,
Is there no space between 13 and d10? And 3.
I
there they
always
go.
use the ruler.
Yeah, do /roll space 13d10 no space.
That was my issue.
I mean,
8 minus 2 is
6.
6. And
Do I get my specialty on this?
I'm
doing like the Bill Goldberg spear. I made it very clear that I was doing a tackle from a wrestling move, so that I would get my
that's correct. That's
WWE
right. I remember.
specialization.
This is true. I don't know if specializations are supposed to apply to damage rolls, but I'm going to say yeah, because it's more fun that way. So,
It's more fun.
So that's 7 successes. The roll I just did was the guy soaking. He soaked 5, so we took 2 bashing slamming into the ground and bouncing his head off the concrete. And which of those dudes? That was dude number 2. And we're into wound penalties for that dude. Which is good news for Darby. All right, the other thing we need to do is, Darby, you burned for celerity, but we didn't get to your celerity action at the end of the round, and that is the bite. That is going to be difficulty 7, dexterity plus brawl roll. Let me double check. Yeah, that's correct.
That's 10, because I have temporarily raised my dex to 6, and
Oh, yeah, goddamn.
I have 4 brawl, so yes, 10 dice. One moment. You said difficulty 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Who? One.
Oh! Wow.
That is, in fact, 7 successes, which is bad news for this guy. Can he even?
That is one of the gnarliest rolls I have ever seen. Holy shit.
So 7 successes on that damage roll. Let's
I'm just
see.
imagining you come up from that bite with his spinal cord hanging from your mouth.
2 successes on the soak roll.
That was that just the chance to hit with the bite? Now I have to roll damage?
No, that was actually the oh, what was that? Did I say
We haven't done the
okay,
action
okay.
at all. So I'm pretty sure that was just the to hit.
But you have 6
Roll over
this
successes
is
for
yeah,
damage.
this is a,
yes,
a
that's
wild
right. For aggravated damage, I believe, because this is with my teeth.
Yeah, the mechanics for combat are so brutal in this game. You could just do 2 pretty good successes and kind of punch someone, or 2 pretty good rolls and punch someone in half is how the game works. But yeah, so
part of what I'm into here, and I think this is going to be important with the level of viscera that is about to be evident in the room, is I do very much want some of this blood in my body. So I don't know, maybe I'm biting too hard to actually accomplish that, but if I could get even a couple of points of this guy's blood as I'm chomping his head off, that'd be great.
I was wrong about something. It's not +1 difficulty. It's +1 to your dice pool. So you have your 7 successes. Please roll 1 more die. Difficulty 6 to see if that becomes 8 successes, which is unsportsmanlike.
Oh,
Oh, that's a 1. So that actually goes down to 6 successes, which is still ridiculous. So 6 successes, you got 5 carryovers. Please roll strength plus potence +1 +5. So that's strength plus potence +6. This is
What is my so natural strength 6, potence 8, so 14. Are we doing 14 here with standard difficulty? Seems like a good amount of dice.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 6, 12.
that is 6 successes that I'm saying. And
I think you also killed this guy's ancestors again.
4. Wow.
His great grandma felt that.
So, Darby tackles this guy, and with supernatural speed, dives into his neck, and you see Darby's face kind of disappear into the guy's neck as he kind of like Pac-Man's through.
Waka 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 waka. He's saying that as he's doing this.
when Darby's when his head emerges from this guy, Darby's whole face is just painted red. You look into this guy's, like, what has happened to his throat, and you just see parts of his anatomy that should not be visible. Just tubes and squirting things and sinew.
Like a diagram of the internet in there.
Yeah. It's got all Grey's Anatomy right under this guy's chin. And there's blood spraying everywhere. And, actually, let me check. I think something might have kicked in. One moment.
Yeah, I am hungry, so I think I have to try to eat. I was trying to eat. I'm not trying to fight this urge.
So yeah, blood sprays everywhere. Very successful attack. You don't see the guy go limp. You don't see the lights go out in his eyes. He's sort of like turtling on his back, but yeah, he's hurting real bad, but like he's still moving bizarrely, and it seems like really needs to be put out of his misery. That is the end of which one was that?
Turn 2.
Yes, that was the end of round 2. Round number 3. You hear over the TCU radios, their walkie-talkies, the guard that, Darby, you were originally talking to, who was just somewhere else in the building. And he comes to the radio and he just says, say again, I did not copy that. Seems like he's responding to the other guard in the room who was starting to stammer into his radio, and then Augustyn shot the radio out of his hand. Is that right?
It was Darby.
It was Darby who did it? Okay. So you just hear
superhero shit from Darby on display right now.
You hear him come through just being like, what? What's going on? Augustyn, could you give me a quick perception plus alertness roll? That's going to be 8 dice for you. It's going to be difficulty 9, though.
It's not been a problem today.
Roll 8d6. I haven't rolled yet. I did just get my ass whipped. Nope, I don't perceive anything.
Wait, why are we rolling d6s?
Ah!
Yeah, you're not going to get any 9s on d6. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Whoops. My bad. Sorry, gang. 1.
That is 1 success. So,
that's all you need.
So there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in this basement parking garage place. Seeing there's a lot of people are moving around. There's chaos. There's a squirrel. There's a bear cub. There are these big dudes all in matching raincoats, like the world's most poorly cast boy band. There's people bleeding out. There's a ficus man, Mike S, the ficus.
Ficus.
And it's And because you are in combat, it hasn't happened a lot. It's like raise your adrenaline if vampires have adrenaline. I don't know. And it's kind of tuned your perceptions, and you're just kind of like looking around like, what do I need? What's happening? And you pick up on something strange. There's the sound of Paddington scampering. There's the sound of the squirrel chittering. There's the deep voiced monstrous grunts that the dudes that Darby is fighting are making. But somewhere beyond all of that, you hear a whispering sound. It sounds like a small group of people all whispering to each other, just kind of monotonously. Like, it definitely sounds like it's somewhere in this this parking garage, because it's all echoey and sounds bouncing around. Doesn't sound like a recording. Doesn't sound like it's outside on the street and you're just like hearing it through a wall or something. It's just the weird sound of like whispering somewhere in the distance and multiple people doing it. Also, while you are like perceiving all this stuff, you see that the squirrel that got knocked off of Darby's head starts running off into just away from all this commotion toward the south end of the parking garage. If you're looking at the battle map, just going down, and Paddington sees the squirrel, thinks they're playing a game, and starts chasing after the squirrel. Ovacxe, up where you are on the third floor of the building in the security room, you're paying attention to all this stuff, but you get a little distracted by there are things on the desk. There are Post-it notes, there are pens, stapler, all the usual office things, and they are not arranged in order of height. And you took that personally.
Yep.
So
they're not aware. They don't know.
So you find yourself just automatically, your hands just move onto them just to correct this imbalance in the universe. It's so easy to line things up. Why didn't someone else do this? It's up to you. You got to do this.
And in like zones, like make it make sense. Yeah.
There's a whole logic to it. So this was going to impact your ability to perceive things through the monitors because you're going to be distracted. But taking a look at Ovacxe's character sheet, just like Excavo, she has the concentration merit. So I cannot impose any distraction-related penalties on you. So this is just a thing that you're doing, and it has no mechanical effect on anything else that you were trying to do. But as you start moving things around, you start perceiving sounds, just like Augustyn was. This is, your senses are heightened. The sound of like
whispers.
You don't hear whispers, but you hear just the sound of like little objects as you're dragging them along the desk, and it starts to sound like the sound of like a piece of glass dragging on another piece of glass. And then as you set something down on the glass, it sounds like a faint cracking sound that the object shouldn't quite make. Everything seems a little strange. Your perceptions start to get a little warped. And you blink and you look down, and the objects that you've been arranging on the desk start to take on the appearance of little miniature human body parts. Like this stapler is actually an arm, just like a disembodied arm. This pad of Post-it notes is a patch of skin. There's a foot, a thigh, and as you're arranging them and putting some similar things on top of each other, stacking them into groups, you see that these body parts are they seem sticky and gooey, like they're made of some kind of putty or like chewed up bubble gum. And as they touch each other, they kind of meld together. And as you're just robotically moving around these objects and stacking them up, and they are looking like body parts to you, and they're kind of melding together as they touch each other, you see that you are accidentally kind of making a body, kind of like a Frankenstein's, a Frankenstein's monster kind of thing. But it isn't turning out like it doesn't look like a human. It just looks like a jumbled collection of body parts, that like the wrong number of parts, and they're in the wrong arrangement. And then there's some movement on a monitor, and you're snapped out of it, and you look down, and they're just normal office supplies again. And
oh shit.
Please give me a perception plus awareness roll, difficulty 7. That'll be 6 dice for you.
Ew. Ew. That is the worst roll.
That is a botch.
I know and see nothing.
That is... that's actually a double botch. There are 2 1s in there and no successes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What happens on a double botch? Never seen a double botch.
This is the price we are paying for the 2 of you having such great rolls.
Okay, so you perceive nothing else of any particular interest.
Would there have been like a head with a face on it that I would have recognized? No?
Oh, like in the body parts that
Like
you're putting together?
during this like hallucination. Yeah.
You some of the parts are head parts, like incomplete. Like there's a jaw, there's a nose, there's their eyes. What is your question though? Like if you...
I don't know. Do I recognize someone? I don't know.
Oh, like a recognizable...
Yeah, like a recognizable face or something.
How about this? Give me one more...
Oh, God.
One more perception plus awareness roll. This time, difficulty 9.
What?
Oh, shit!
Oh, no!
That is 3 successes. On a difficulty 9, you bounced back on that. So, 3...
Sorry, guys. You're going to roll horribly from now on.
Well, here's what you get for 3 successes. You recognize not
Nothing.
1, but 3 faces. They're 3 faces that you recognize. It's a bit triggering because you associate these faces with some trauma that you went through, or rather that Excavo went through. Can you guess what these 3 faces might be?
It might be whoever turned me into a vampire. It might be
There are 3
what are my people notes?
3 people who turned you into a staked vampire at one point.
Oh, people from the library. The library. When I went there by myself.
Yeah.
Is that who I see?
Did Roll20 just crash for anyone else?
No.
Is that just me?
It's still working for me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I may not be able to roll for a second.
There's another D6 from Augustyn.
You recognize just distinguishing bits and pieces of the faces of 3 of Palladian's students, the hunters. And you happen to remember that their names, the names of the 3 that you recognize are Leonard O., Ralph L., and Michelle Angelo. Not Donna Teller, whom you remember was left behind at the church and went into the church to save Palladian. The other 3 hunters were missing, were not on the scene when you arrived. And you just had a strange vision of like parts of their bodies in front of you.
Stop. No, that's a bad number. Roll one more.
I don't like what is being suggested here. Steve doesn't like it. Darby doesn't know anything about it, but Steve does not like the way that these facts are being revealed.
So then, I
right
mean,
now.
am I thinking that this TCU place is like connected to the vampire hunters in some way? Oh no!
Or that the vampire hunters were captured and Frankensteined into what is now Alpha Team.
Yeah.
You know,
Use like
who's to say?
Human vicissitudinal Play-Doh and built into these.
So I recognize from the vision. Would I look at the footage of like what's happening and recognize their faces? If that were the case,
The footage of what's happening, like.
I mean, like the live feed from the. I'm in the security room. Cameras are on.
You don't see any of these people. You've been scanning for any kind of movement, and the only people you've spotted are the all the commotion happening in the basement, and the one lone guard patrolling the second floor.
So none of the people in the basement are them. Okay.
It doesn't seem that way. I mean, the Bravo team guards, definitely not. The big dudes in the raincoats. I mean, there's four of them, and they all kind of have like the wrong build. They don't strike you as being like brainwashed.
So we've not come across them yet.
Correct. Now, I don't know how much this is going to interfere with things, but I cannot load Roll20. It's just crashing for me.
Well, it's probably not helpful that
Andy rolled 666 D6s, so that might have something to do with it.
Oh, did he? Did he kill Roll20?
Yes. It works for me. I don't really know.
Still loaded in. Let me do a less obnoxious roll.
Just close the window and reopen it. I don't know.
Maybe I just load it in. I'm going to try to load it in a different browser. In case that works.
It's a good one. Good roll.
Oh, I wasted it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just stick to D6s.
What did you get on your
roll.
monster roll?
The mass.
On a monster roll, I rolled 2,275.
In total.
It's a pretty good roll.
Cumulative.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, this is just the damnedest thing. Every time I log into Roll20, it just bounces me back out. It's even happening in another browser. Maybe I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to try
phone browser.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
If you need to pause and restart your machine or whatever, you need to be in Roll20. So wait, figure it out.
I could just have you folks tell me what's happening, and I could trust you at my peril.
Sounds risky. Oh, the other two attackers ran away. They were so scared.
We watched them run.
All right, let me see if it cooperates with Firefox. I think I almost live streamed my password.
Just doxing yourself.
Like people want to break into my Roll20 account. What is going on? Nope, can't get into Roll20. Well, let's see what I can do without it. All right.
The NPCs are so disturbed they won't let you back in.
That kind of feels like it. This would mean the video won't have those sweet, sweet dice rolls that I have to edit around. So
no.
tragic. All right. So round 3. Round 3, the 4 big dudes that Darby is fighting. Darby is fighting. They are going to roll for something. 1 second.
May their rolls be terrible.
Well, nothing happens, which is good for everybody. All right, so round 3, declaring our actions. So the guard. Let me see. Let me arrange these. So the guy in behind, yes, the guy behind Darby is attempting to grab Darby despite being Pez dispensered. He's reaching forward and trying to basically grab you because you're still on top of Charlie 2. This is Charlie 4 trying to grab you and pull you off of the guy that you just bit. The 2 big guys to your left and right, they're continuing to just try to beat you down.
Yep.
Bravo 3, who got his radio shot, is gonna roll for something. He actually botched his roll to recognize Augustyn from the van chase because he had seen Augustyn before. There was a question of whether or not he would recognize, oh, you're the guy who was shooting at us.
Shot me? Yeah.
He botched on that roll, so he is fully convinced he has never seen Augustyn in his entire life. So you see Bravo 3 running to the unconscious guard who's on the cot, who looked like he just got the shit beaten out of him and was laid on a cot earlier before you even showed up. Bravo 3 is running to that guy on the cot and looks like he's reaching out and going for that guy's radio. Charlie 2 is just got chewed up really badly by Darby, but you see he's still got a little bit of fight in him. He's reaching up and he's trying to grab onto Darby to control the struggle, to get into a clinch. Augustyn, what action do you declare? I think either you were trying to you were going to try to puppeteer Mike S. the Ficus to use his submachine gun to shoot at something that the guys Darby is fighting.
Well, there's 2 that are still standing up. So those would probably.
I didn't realize Mike S. the Ficus had a submachine gun. I was thinking his. This is new information to Augustyn. It's fantastic.
Yeah, all of Bravo team has small submachine guns, like the kind you see Secret Service having under the jackets. Darby has one of them because he stole it from the guy in the lobby, but the guy we're calling Mike S., who is was previously known as Bravo 2, he also has a submachine gun, and the unconscious guy in the cot has a submachine gun, and the guy that got his radio shot that is trying to get another radio, he also is wearing a submachine gun.
Okay. You said he's trying to run past me to get to Bravo 2. Which I'm realizing the difficulty of not being able to see the map at this point.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so he's gonna have to cross me to get to Bravo 2.
You'll have to get through me. Yeah.
I don't think I have my taunters in.
What the heck? Roll20 just crashed on me.
Weird. I think you still have everything that you usually carry on you. I don't remember you.
Only Darby has gotten rid of some of his stuff. Everybody else has got their full complement of gear.
Okay. I used my gun earlier. Do I get like a bonus if I'm firing at close range into somebody? Is there like any like firing into melee?
Like an advantage or something?
There are a lot of little like gun maneuver special things that you can do. What effect are you trying to go for? You just want to make it as likely as possible that you do hit the guy?
Yeah, like he's basically like, okay, so when I'm looking at this map, the triangle that's being formed here, he has a path straight through me to get to the dude he's trying to get to.
Okay.
I would like to, cool as a cucumber, in my doctor regalia, turn around and just shoot him dead. Yeah. Just straight up, just shoot him dead and go, by God, it's an epidemic. This man's full of bullet wounds as well.
There's a lead poisoning joke right there.
Oh, man. They're both pretty funny. Yeah,
in Discord, I posted a link to the abridged version of the combat mechanics document that I wrote up, specifically the gun maneuvers section. You can look over that thing. There is actually a rule for that. If you're shooting someone who's within 2 yards of you, which he will be at some point, the shots are at a -2 difficulty. So actually, yeah, there is a mechanic for that. You also have the opportunity to, because you have a pistol that has a firing rate of, I think, 3. Yeah, 3. So you can, if you want to, you could split your dice pool between firing multiple times, and you'll have a lower chance of hitting with every shot, but you will have more shots. So you can gamble with that option there.
It would provoke me to ask the question, do I want to be greedy? To which the answer is always no. If you're asking that question, that is a dumb choice. Don't do it.
Okay, so you're just going to shoot him once, just in his body.
I'm going to dump all of my shots into the designated target, yes.
Oh, all of your shots?
How many do you have?
So you could do a normal roll and try to shoot him once, or you can split your dice pool into 2 rolls or 3 rolls and try to shoot him 2 or 3 times in your turn.
You don't have that many dice for this. Just pointing out. You're not really spec'd for combat maneuvers of this variety.
Yeah, you'd be splitting up 5.
So you're saying that
you can shoot one guy and be successful at it. I think shooting more than one guy in one turn requires special build on your character sheet that you don't have.
But if you,
that's my metagame opinion.
If Augustyn successfully shot the guy 2 or 3 times, it'd be more likely that he'd be killed and taken out of the fight.
I mean, there's definitely benefits, but I think given that the number of firearms dice we have split is very low, even with, I mean, I don't know.
Like, it's insinuating, like, you just can't do it that quickly. Like, you don't have that much experience with firearms to be able to bend it around.
Well, it's multiple actions in one turn.
I'll put...
Well, they have so many dice to say. They have so many soak dice, too. Even for lethal damage. So even if you got multiple hits in, it might not degrade their combat effect. Oh, you're trying to shoot our human. You're trying to shoot the regular guy.
Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to shoot the human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I keep hearing these whispers, and I'm getting flustered because I can't focus on things. So I'm going to quiet one of those flusters to the best of my ability with one decisive clap.
For what it's worth, you also have the concentration merit, so you're very focused despite weird stuff happening in the background of the scene. So you're just doing one shot?
Yeah. As concisely and lethally as I can muster. I have... Let's see. Is it firearms plus something? Because I definitely only have one dot in fire.
Plus dexterity. So a total of 5 for you.
Okay. So roll 5d10.
Not yet.
Oh, shit. Do I need to wait for... Yeah, I need to wait for that to come around. Okay. Well, I got it typed in. I'm ready to roll.
So Darby, you still have 4 guys trying to wail on you. They're all of your attack and defense rolls, while you have 4 guys on you, are going to be at a +3 difficulty. What does?
Did he manage to drink anything from that? Did he manage to drink anything from his neck attack?
Darby has not yet tried.
Oh, yeah, so okay.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. You're kind of low on blood.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing this turn. I'm not burning for celerity. I am going to be dividing my dice in defense, I guess, but I am spending my action, I think, to do the kiss. Is that how the mechanics work? You can do a combat bite or a bite to drain blood, but not both.
Yeah, that's correct. You're either doing damage or getting blood. So, because you, I'm going to retcon the thing where I said your face came up and it was all painted with blood. Let's say you are still in the process of biting this person or whatever it is. So you can automatically drain 3 points of blood. If you see, the tricky thing is, I don't think that is a roll. So splitting your dice pool between that and defense is...
I would still get to use all my dice for defense.
So let's say... I think that doesn't really represent you splitting your focus between 2 things. Let's say you
hang on. So let's make this easy on you. Let's make this easy on you because I'm still in my bite and I know I
had a proposal.
I'm going to propose something too, and you tell me what makes the most sense. Since we're still in the declaration phase, why don't I burn for celerity, and that way I can use one of my actions dice pool. This is just worse for me overall. Let me hear what your proposal is.
My proposal was you split your dice pool between drinking blood and defending, and the drinking blood roll will be just let's say strength plus brawl, just to like stay attached, because this guy's still squirming around, and you decide how many dice you want to put into that. If you succeed, you get the blood. If you fail, you don't get purchase in his vein. You could try again in the next round, and you just decide how you'd like to split that up. So that would be, defense would be dexterity plus athletics, and drinking would be strength plus brawl. So let's figure out what each of those dice pools are. Your strength,
11 for the first roll.
What is your effective strength right now?
I think it's 7. Is that right?
Down. I also think, you just bumped it up by 1. So strength 7, and did you increase your dexterity or stamina?
Yeah, I did both to 6. That's why I don't have any blood. Temporarily.
Okay. So
Because that's my level cap. Like, you can only raise it up to your level cap without spending willpower or something.
So your drinking dice pool will be 11. Your defending dice pool will be 10. So the smaller of those two is 10. You have to decide how to divide up 10 dice between drinking and defending.
What do the drinking dice get me? Like, I just need a success to stay drinking.
Yep.
Do I get any blood automatically, or like I need to succeed on this challenge?
If you succeed on the roll, if you get 1 success, you'll get 3 points of blood, because that's the maximum you can get in 1 turn.
I think I've now been kicked out of Roll20 as well.
Something weird is going on with Roll20. Let's see if we can
I don't
do this
know.
old school. So how do you want to play it? You could just do 5 for one and 5 for the other.
So I get a chance to soak no matter what when I take damage.
That's just an automatic thing.
And the difficulty for the blood drinking is not increased by the amount of targets that I have, like everything else. Yeah, Roll20 is just down straight up. I'm getting a 503 connection timeout.
You know,
they got DDoS or what?
You know, it does count as.
I mean, it's still rolling for me.
It does count as an attack because it's because drinking blood does do damage. It just does lethal instead of aggravated damage. So difficulty would be increased by 3. So that would be difficulty 9 for the drinking roll.
You know, I guess I'll just split it evenly then. Because I need the blood or I'm fucked.
Okay. And I want to remind everybody you can spend willpower points, get automatic successes if you declare it ahead of time before your roll. Don't forget that.
So okay, that's actually really important. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to allocate 9 dice to defense. I'm going to burn 1 willpower for an automatic success on the blood roll. That's how I'm going to play it. If I have like no temporary willpower points or 1 at the end of the fight, I mean, like I'm going to die if I do not use all of my resources at my disposal. So I will be ensuring an automatic success with my single dice to get some blood that I'm going to need to probably heal after these people start beating the shit out of me, giving me wound penalties.
All right, so we're not even going to roll that 1 die because the number of successes isn't going to have an impact on the
carryover. Yeah,
results.
exactly.
So, so you get 3 more blood back. That brings you to 8. And as you pull,
they're updating Roll20 right now. It's definitely different. I just refreshed, and the website loaded in a different font. Like they're doing some shit to Roll20.
Okay, maybe it's.
But it looks like it's letting me back in to the game.
I'll try it again.
Oh no, kick me back out. But they're definitely doing some squirrely shit on the website. It's not our fault.
Yeah, it did look a little different when I tried.
So you pull
retried.
You pull 3 points of blood out of this guy's neck. Kind of seems like it's the last blood that hasn't already fallen out of his gaping neck wound. And as you do that, you're nourished by it. You feel him like coming up, trying to grab you, and it looks like he's trying to grab the side of your neck and to kind of like wrench it away from him and get you in sort of a headlock. And just as he starts to get his hand around you, you feel his arm go limp and he falls
thank God.
falls to the ground. The lights go out in his eyes, and he's
So
no
now
longer
we're at
breathing.
+2 difficulty for remaining rolls as one target has been.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
God, that's huge. We may live through this yet, team. We may live through this yet.
Oh God, he said it. He said the bad words.
I'm good.
Oh, things were just looking terrible up until this exact moment, so we needed a break.
So I'm gonna say those. So there are 3 people attacking you.
Yes.
And you're not spending your entire turn just defending, so you can't do the thing where like your whole dice pool is applied to everybody.
Yeah, I have to divide them. So like 3, 3, and 4, I guess.
Okay. Well, it'd be
I mean,
3, 3,
what-
and 3.
Question.
I have 10.
This is,
Oh no, I had to use one. Right.
and also, I mean, I maybe metagaming too much, but that one of the 3 is definitely gaping a hole in his neck and presumably not swinging as hard as maybe the other 2.
That's true. He is probably at a wound penalty at this point from how much you fucked him up, but
He's behind you.
yeah, I
Which
might not
gives
know
him-
that. I'm gonna divide the dice evenly. I think that's the fairest way to do it.
That's the simplest thing.
No, that makes sense. That tracks.
I mean, you're right, but that guy could have the best rolls, and then I'd feel stupid for choosing to allocate my dice wrong, right?
That'll teach you to ignore the necklace guy.
Right.
All right, so up next is Augustyn. So you are trying to shoot Bravo 3, right? Who's going for the
Shoot him
rating?
dead. Mm-hmm. I want to shoot that man dead.
Okay. 1 second. All right, so he is not expecting this because he's not
Your
expecting
friendly doctor.
Yeah, the doctor to do anything to harm him. He is somehow convinced that you were honestly trying to help this guy, and something out of everyone's control went horribly wrong. And you are probably now going to try to save this guy that is full of a tree. He does not view you as an enemy at all. So he's trying to run past you. Give me a dexterity plus firearms roll. It's going to be 5 dice, I think. 5 dice, yeah.
Multiple D10 roller. 5 dice.
Oh, you're not traveling for work
See.
with your dice bag in your hotel room?
No. No.
Well, now you'll know.
All
next
right.
time.
I've got a 4, 7, 4, 10, 4. What'd you say the difficulty was?
Standard difficulty, so that is 2 successes. One of those successes carries over. Roll 5 dice to determine damage, please.
You got it. Roll 5d10. I've got a 9, 2, 6, 8, 6.
4
So it's 4
successes.
successes. Let's see
Pretty
what this
good.
guy. So this guy is wearing.
At 2, doctor?
This guy is wearing ballistic vest. He's wearing like kind of riot gear. He's suited up pretty well. So he does have an increased opportunity to soak specifically ballistic damage, and he soaks 2 of the 4, and you see your bullet graze him. You see blood kind of spray out, and he goes and he falls to the floor. Let me see here, and he has been shot, and he has temporarily paused his pursuit of the the radio. That brings us to the two dudes who are trying to punch Darby on either side of him. Because they are flanking him, they get +1 die to their attack pool.
Annoying,
yeah. So, let me see here. So I'm going to roll for one of them. They got the same number of successes. Darby, please roll 3 dice twice and tell me how many successes you get.
I just need you to do it for me.
And they are, let me see here. So three dice twice, difficulty 8. So for the first one, you were trying to, I'm guessing just like with your free hand, you were like blocking these punches that are happening behind you. So these two guys on either side of you just coming down on you. You manage to kind of clip one of their hands a little bit, but both of them still land solid punches on the back of your head. Let me roll for damage for both of those. Let's see. And other one. I like it when Roll20 counts for us.
No, we had.
All right, so please give me 2 soak rolls. Stamina plus fortitude. That's going to be
We're at
6
9?
plus, yeah, that's going to be 9.
9 per.
So these are
attacker.
two big dudes with like bone spikes coming out of their knuckles, and they are slamming down on the back of your head and hitting you solidly. But you have a chance to actually shrug it off. And I'm doing this roll for you.
Yes, I mean, I could get a dice roller thing up, but
I got you.
rather you just do it. Yeah.
So
I keep trying to roll 20 periodically.
Like what? They have the audacity to do updates on a Wednesday night?
How dare they, honestly?
This is peak role playing time. So, the dude to your right slams down, bashes into your head. You feel the knuckle spikes kind of graze against the top of your head, and just kind of tickles. You take no damage from it.
Oh, yeah.
Despite all of these dice they were they had at their disposal. But the guy to your left swings at you with kind of an uppercut into the side of your head, and manages to kind of clip your ear, bashes into you, like cuts into the side of your face a bit, enough to make you wince a little bit. You receive 1 lethal damage of a potential 20 if all of those rolls had gone not in your favor. So you are...
And Darby looks over to the guy, and I think he just like touches the one finger and looks at the blood and is like, we're doing this. Okay.
So I had you as already having 1 lethal damage from before that had not been healed yet. Is that what you also have?
I don't have my character sheet, but that does not sound right to me. I am somewhat...
I think
I
that's what
have
you
blood
got.
every turn. I spend to heal every time I get damaged. So, I mean, I have enough blood per turn that it doesn't really matter functionally, but I would like to state out loud that until it's going to cause me problems, I am immediately healing damage.
Okay. So if you want to heal using your blood, if you take a whole turn just concentrating and just doing that, then it happens, no complications. If you want to heal while you're doing other stuff, there is a stamina plus survival roll that I think is a difficulty 8. And if you succeed, you heal. If you fail, you waste the blood. If you botch, you, I think, waste an extra blood and get an extra point of damage. It's kind of trying to heal while you are fighting. This edition makes it...
So 2 lethal damage puts me at -1 wound penalties.
Correct.
So yeah, I mean, I think I need to try to heal. I can't have a minus on all my dice. So I'll do the survival roll.
So yeah, you can do that right now, just reflexively while you're doing other stuff. So your stamina plus survival pool is at the moment 6 plus.
I don't know if I have any survival.
No survival. I'm gonna say that doesn't put you at any particular like extra penalty for not having survival. So 6 dice difficulty. Let me make sure I have that difficulty 8 thing correct. Yep, stamina plus survival difficulty 8. 2 successes. You want to burn 2 blood to heal all of your wounds?
Yep. Yes.
All right. So the only one that's left is the guy behind you who
Trying to grapple me.
Yes. And he's going to try something. Let me... One moment. Where's that? Charlie 4. 5 dice. Oh, he can't. Okay. Oh, wait, no, that's lethal. Okay. Never mind. All right, so he is trying to come down and grab you from behind. He is coming up behind you, so that gives him +2 to attack.
He does have wound penalties as well.
He does. So that's -1.
Just a heads up, I think D20's back up.
Oh,
Roll 20.
very nice.
D20.
Yes, but what? Yeah, that's what I said. Clearly, that's what I said.
7. All right. Please roll 3 dice for me. Difficulty 8 to defend against this guy trying to grab you. Oh, shit. I'm doing your rolls. I'm sorry.
No, I got it. It's back.
It's back.
Yeah.
I gotta try to get back into roll 22. Roll 22.
Oh, is that the sequel to Roll 20?
I was gonna say, is that the advanced roll 20, roll 22?
Got him.
That's my roll. I'm waiting for it. Might need. Seems like it might still be groaning a little bit.
It just needs to, like, it takes a second for it to load the chat log. And once the chat log appears, it appears we rolling dice normally.
Could I roll again?
Yeah, if the chat log popped up, it's not going to retroactively add your rolls, but once it's up, you should be able to do your roll and it should appear normally. Yeah, there you are. I see your dice.
Got one.
By God, he's back.
Oh, sorry. You got 1 success?
One success. 3d10, difficulty 8.
All right. You find Charlie 4 behind you, kind of clumsily falling on top of you and wrapping his arms around you in like a bear hug. And let me load up. I am also back in roll 20. I just need to get back on the video. All right, 1 second.
I don't have that kind of time, man.
This is an inconvenient time for them to be doing site maintenance, but I don't know when would be a great time.
Some nerds are going to be playing this dumb game no matter when they try to do it.
All right, almost there. Switch to it. Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Help me update my character sheet. What's my current blood level? And I spent 1 willpower as well, right? So
yeah, you are at willpower. Yeah, you're at 6 of 7 willpower, and you are at 6 of 20 blood.
Got my sheet upgraded, and I'm currently bruised. I'm currently nothing. I just healed everything, so I'm not
correct.
Not injured at the moment. Okay. I think I got my shit updated. So this dude is bear hugging me.
Yep.
He got me in a grapple. He's an asshole. But he's not doing any damage. He's just trying to control me.
Correct. Just trying to hold you. So that was.
Do I feel safe? Do I get like a bonus to?
I mean, you feel
cuddling
protected.
Rolls. Yeah.
It's a pretty good hug. I'm going to say it's maybe the best hug that Darby's had in a while. It's kind of disarming. Makes him feel like a little baby.
Lonely. Yeah.
All right. So we are now going to start round 4. Let's see here. Round 4. Ovacxe. You are continuing to organize everything in this security room.
Okay.
You're helping a lot, by the way.
And
I feel safe.
And you see an SUV pull up behind the building, and it looks like it is full of other guards. Could you please give me a standard difficulty perception plus investigation roll? There'll be 4 dice for you.
That's
Got
two
it.
successes.
So 2 successes. You recognize 2 of the people in the car. One of them was the guy who identified himself as Kurt, who was at Club Wonderland interviewing former Prince Archibald Alves. Alvins?
Alvarez.
Alvarez?
Alvins.
Yes.
It's been so long, we don't even remember.
I am definitely
Alvins.
right. It's Alvins.
You know, the name Alvin and the Chipmunks implies that Alvin is not a chipmunk? Anyway, so you recognize one of the guys who's at
I thought
Club
that was
Wonderland.
there's like the guy who's hanging out with them as well. That could be the guy's name.
What was his name? He had
There's just
name.
like a
I think
human.
Dave.
Darren? Dave? Something
Dave?
with a D. I want to say
Yeah.
Darren. I don't know why that came to my mind.
Darren is funnier. So to
wait,
recap,
who's the other person I recognize?
the other person was one of the other people who was stalking around Club Wonderland and appeared to be there with Kurt. Like they were all part of the same security unit. To recap, Archibald got a hold of the mailing address for who is suspected to be the horseman Famine through the correspondence chess game that that Famine was having with former Prince Randolph Delacroix. Archibald sent a letter to this address, which was a P.O. box, saying like, "Hey, do you want to meet up? I'm going to be at this place at this time." Archibald showed up to Club Wonderland. Famine did not show up, but someone came saying that he was representing an employer who's very busy and important and wants to screen everybody. Doesn't know anything about Archibald. It seemed kind of like a background check interview kind of situation. It seemed really spooky. He didn't give really any information about who he was, who he represented, what his deal was, but it looked like he was there with I think 2 or 3 other people who looked really out of place in the club, who looked kind of like undercover cops, like that, like the way they carry themselves. Now there is a group of 4 people in an SUV pulling up, and the one driving is Kurt, who was talking to Archibald. You see this in the security camera. You also see in the security camera that the other security guard that was on the second floor, Bravo 6, he's looking really confused, and he's holding his radio, and he's saying something into it, and you see him kind of like hustling to the stairs.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything that you do?
So we've mentioned there is a way that I can just immediately communicate with them over the speakers. Can I warn them? So there are 4 more coming. I assume that the way that they're moving, they know where they're gonna go.
Yeah, they're like coming down the ramp into the parking garage.
Yeah. Like they know, getting into the parking garage, they're gonna see. Like I want to warn them and say, hey, would they know who? They would know who Kurt is, would they? Darby might know.
The guy from Club Wonderland.
Yes. Yeah.
Darby,
yeah. Say the guy.
Darby was not there. Augustyn, I think, was not paying attention. I think Augustyn was talking to Teddy Linkletter or something at the time.
I think I'm just gonna say 4 more are coming your way. You know, just like 4 more people are coming your way. Get ready or something.
Former people? Like
4
corpses?
more. Like 4 extra people. Well, they'll be corpses soon enough.
How extra are they though? Okay, all right. All right, so this is what Darby and Augustyn hear. Any other actions from Ovacxe?
You've just given away your location to everyone. Just FYI. They know that a bogey is in the security. of this exact moment.
Do we? It's the only place that you can communicate like that.
You don't know.
People.
There's like a phone app, and they could do it. Who knows?
Okay, all right. Well, Luddite Darby's like, oh shit, the jig is up.
I don't know.
Blood-eyed Darby might not understand how he's hearing her voice right now.
I assume
Get out of my head, devil woman.
Have I finished organizing the things?
Yeah.
No, child.
What I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to get the camera footage so that they don't have it. That's like my goal of why I'm still in here.
Oh, to delete the camera.
Yeah, so that they don't have that.
Well, let's say, I'm going to say that is an extended roll. Let's say a number of successes that you would have to achieve. Let's say you just walked in here. The system's non-obvious to you. Let's say you have to achieve 10 successes, but you can take as much time as you want until something interrupts you. These are going to be, let's see. Let's say this is intelligence plus computer. So for Ovacxe, that is a dice pool of 5.
Okay, do I do that now?
Yeah, let's say at the start of every round, you can roll 5 dice, standard difficulty, and see how many successes you get.
All right, let's spin the wheel. 2. Out of 10. Here we go. Okay, you gotta clap like this.
Golf clap. All right, so new round of combat. So let's see. The Darby, the guy behind you, is clearly just trying to keep a hold of you so the others can continue whomping on you. The other two on your left and right appear to be content just wailing on the back of your head, or if they can reach it, your face. Bravo 3, the dude who just got shot by Augustyn, is pulling out his submachine gun and aiming it at Augustyn. What is Augustyn doing?
It's a question. If I do Dance of Vines, this here plantified gentleman, Dance of Vines does have
he's vegetative.
Has a subtext that says, hey, we can't, even the most vigorous plant can't uproot itself. Well, this plant is rooted in person.
The root bulb is in a man.
Yeah. Theoretically, since it's not rooted in the ground, if I animated with Dance of Vines, could I tell it to do stuff?
Oh yeah, that was the whole premise of the ghastly puppeteering that you were going to do. You can.
Yeah, normally you probably wouldn't be able to move it around, but because you so vigorously planted this one dude, you can. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me that you'd be able to ambulate.
Cool.
Yeah,
then I'm going to.
The note in the mechanics, I think, was like, you can make a plant move however you want, except pulling itself out of the ground. If it's not in the ground at all, then just ignore that part.
You couldn't make it pull itself out of the guy. Like that same limitation. Like it couldn't uproot itself from the dude itself. Like it is permanently affixed in its human.
I know what must be done.
Potting plant. Oh, God. Oh, no. I don't want to know.
Oh.
So, well, after I'm done looking bewilderedly at the man through whom I just made a mild bullet wound, I turn back to my magnificent plant and embrace it with my maniacal mitts and attempt to cast Dance of Vines.
To do what? What do you command it to do?
Embrace the funny knuckles. I pointed the two dudes who aren't Pez dispensers and command it to like grapple the funny knuckles, attack the dudes with the funny knuckles.
Like
They got
squeeze
like the
them
bone
to death?
shards as an identifier.
Entangle them so they can't do anything. Are you trying to like immobilize them, or okay?
Wrapping around are we thinking like vines?
Mhm.
Well, it'd be
Coming
like
out of them?
the closest one you could.
Well,
I
let
don't know if you
me
can do both of them at once.
let me put some guardrails on this a little bit. So there's a ficus tree inhabiting all of the inside of a guy. There's like little bits of twigs and leaves like poking out of orifices, but for the most part, you are animating just the guy.
And he's still alive and miserable.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's making noises, but who's to say if it's just his lungs getting?
He loves it. He's
Like
always wanted to be a
lungs
tree.
and the air running past the.
This is the best day of his life.
So let's say Augustyn can essentially command the guy to do guy things, as in like human things,
Okay.
not like public.
I will. I will try and command him to subdue the nearest one to me. It looks like Charlie 1.
Okay,
Not the Pez dispenser, not the dude who just died, just the nearest one, trying to bring down the body count, pummeling Darby.
Okay. And I haven't moved these guys on the thing. So let's say Bravo 3 is moved closer to you. The Bravo guys look so tiny in this. Like their little icons are weirdly smaller than the other ones. I could have sprung for like, icons I have to pay for that look a little better, but
Definitely not. You made the right call.
I look like a Goliath. It's great.
Oh yeah, you look weirdly tall. Okay, so the guy's just like trying to tackle and hold on to the nearest big dude in the raincoat. Okay.
So I have to spend the blood.
Yeppers.
When it gets to my turn.
Yeah. Darby.
Yeah, you're just declaring your action at this point.
What is what's Darby doing?
So Darby is going to go back to burning for celerity. And my goal this round is to get some candy from the Pez dispenser. So I am trying to like spin around in that guy's grasp. Like, actually, I'm stuck in here with you type of energy. Like you have really erred in your choice here. And then I think I'm going to go bite again because the prerequisite is that you have to be like in these close quarters. So I think I'm gonna attempt to combat bite that guy with one of my actions, the first one, and then I'll use the remaining action, or the spin and the bite are the two different things you need me to do with my celerity actions. That's fine.
Well, I think in fairness, a bite's only possible after a hold or a tackle or a clinch or one of those things where you are in control. So I think
I want to spend my first action to like overpower his hold into a clinch.
Okay.
To actuality, I'm in control of this, Raincoat Man. And then
you turn it from spooning to face-to-face hugging.
Yes. And I'm just going to hope I can soak the damage from the other two guys, or that maybe Augustyn could get one off of my back. So yeah, I'm going to.
You could suplex the one guy into the other guys.
Oh, no, you're really on to so. Hang on a second. So let's think about the clinch. So I'm essentially doing the same thing, but yeah, I'm going to clinch in such a way like fireman's carry and like spin the guy to get me some space. Like I'm gonna like lift him up and then Spin him around. So that's my clinch. And then we go to the ground and then the bite. So lift and spin, suplex, and that way I get my wrestling moves on this, which is very clutch. I'm glad you put that.
Well, that does.
Or are you saying I could go lift and suplex would be? Well, I can split my dice, right? Like, can I do everything I want to do here?
Yeah, you just have to decide how you want to do it. So it sounds like there are three things you want to do. You want to hold, you want to suplex, and you want to bite and drain.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's right. The drain will have to come next turn. I understand that. But this is just a combat bite.
Okay, so this could be, if you're burning for celerity, first move is try to twist around and grab onto the guy, and then your celerity move would be to try to suplex him into the ground, possibly
and
hitting
that would
other guys.
Count as my tackle, and I could be in position for a bite next turn, where I could do a combat bite and then like celerity action to get the blood, kind of like I did last time.
Okay. All right. So
this turn is all about first is the reversal. So I'm trying to just like reverse on this guy. Uno reverse card.
You're burning
grappling you.
Burning a blood for celerity, right?
Yes, burning 1 blood for celerity. Puts me down to 5. Hungry again.
Let me figure out what so difficulty would be up by 2, and someone is behind you. I don't see any reason why that should. So let's just say difficulty is 8 for this, and because
that guy does have wound penalties to resist.
That is, which one is he? 4. That is correct. So I'm going to say, because this is, I'm going to use the mechanics of like opposing a hold, opposing a tackle, because this isn't like you're trying to do an attack on someone fresh. This is like you're being held and you are trying to change that situation. So that is a strength plus brawl roll. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure that is correct. Yes, strength plus brawl versus that guy's strength plus brawl. Your difficulty is going to be 8. His is going to be 6.
I get my 10s.
Yes, absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 aggregate successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 1. Yes.
All right, so let's see how many this other guy gets. Six. All right, so you tried to swivel around to grab onto the guy and reverse it, and he's just got you like under the arms, squeezing into your tummy in just such a way that you can't really like maneuver around him. You're giving him hell, but his positioning and the fact that you're distracted by the 2 other guys on either side of you, you can't quite swing around to do that. That brings us to Augustyn. Augustyn, you are burning 1 blood and giving me a willpower roll. Difficulty 6.
Hang on a second. What did that guy roll to grab me? Because isn't that what I should be rolling against versus him getting a totally separate roll again to oppose me? Yeah. Like he got to roll twice versus my rolling once and add his successes together.
When he grabbed you successfully, that was strength plus, or sorry, that was dexterity plus brawl. When he was holding on to you, that was strength plus brawl. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, he got to leverage what, 14 dice in pursuit of holding me. The same goal.
Well, yeah. Well, the mechanics of if you have a hold on someone and then they are trying to get out of it is, one, you have to get the hold, and then in subsequent rounds, both parties oppose each other with strength plus brawl rolls to see like who's stronger and who can get out. So that's what happened in
But that takes their action. That opposition requires their action round, or is that just a test of strength to see who's in the hold or not?
That is them
I guess that's the
maintaining
part.
their action, basically.
So my role was in defense. I guess this is the part that I'm confused about.
Your
Like, this
roll in
opposed
defense
roll-
was the 3 dice that you did in the previous roll. So you opposed him every time that he rolled. Does that?
But he has to maintain control over me each
Correct.
turn. You said in an
If
opposed
you're
roll.
fighting against him, yeah.
I have a vigorously strong willpower roll. With difficulty 6, 4 successes.
Okay.
I am shouting this plant to life.
But Steve, is there any other clarification about the grappling that you two were doing? The thing that really screwed you over was just the distraction of multiple opponents, increasing the difficulty of your side of the roll.
Yeah. I think the part that I'm having trouble following is whether this opposed roll would happen in general, no matter what, or whether I have to do something as a player to initiate it on my turn. Like, does he have to expend resources to keep me in the grapple?
Yeah, that's his. He's committing to that. His action every turn is just maintaining it. And then the result of him dedicating himself to that hold is...
So that's the penalty that makes it fair. He can't do anything else.
Unless if he wants to split his dice pool, and then it'll be easier for you to like break out. But yeah, he's pretty much just, that's what he's doing. He's hugging you.
Does him holding me decrease my ability to defend against the other two guys in any meaningful way, aside from keeping me in one physical location?
If you are immobilized, but you can still kind of struggle and move around a bit, difficulty for rolls goes up by 2.
So does that mean I can't do anything if my difficulty for rolls is 11? So it's like a +4 to difficulty.
If we're talking about standard difficulty +2 because you have multiple attackers, +2 because you're immobilized, difficulty would be 10. So you could still succeed on a difficulty 10 roll, and you could also spend blood to get automatic successes on strength-based things because of your potence, and you could also spend willpower to get automatic successes. So you have a few ways out of it, both with and without spending blood and willpower. All right. So Augustyn now has to roll occult plus intelligence to try to animate this dude.
Difficulty?
Standard difficulty.
Boop. I see 2 successes.
I see 4. Well,
Wait,
3
yeah.
3 at roll. And now I understand why that is. He sacrificed his turn to be able to
It's kind of like I would represent it like this. When he's trying to initiate it, that's an attack, and you can defend against it. And when he's maintaining it, he's doing nothing but maintaining it, and your attempts to get out are just opposed by him. It has to be an opposed roll. Okay, so the Mike S. the ficus, the the corpse with the tree in it. Let me make sure I'm recording here. He jumps on Charlie 1 and successfully grabs him and pulls him off of Darby. And he will be doing that for another 2 rounds of combat. So Bravo 3, as I said earlier, is aiming his submachine gun at Augustyn. Holds down the trigger and just attempts to empty the whole magazine into Augustyn, because he's the doctor shot him. He doesn't understand why this random doctor who came in shot him, but his instincts are kicking in. He's like, I gotta shoot him back. Them's the rules. Okay, so let me do that roll for him real quick. If you're emptying the magazine, automatic fire, you add 10 dice to the attack roll, but there's +2 difficulty because the gun's flying all over the place. So some pros and some cons to that. So that'll be 16 dice that he's rolling at a difficulty of 8.
So it's not good.
Cons, bullets. Pros, bullets.
It's rolling. I'm not seeing.
Oh no.
Oh dear. That is 6 successes. 7 successes.
Seven.
Oh yeah. So 7 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 8. Yeah.
So it's difficulty 8. I see 7.
Oh yeah. Yeah, correct. I see 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
9, 9. 10,
There's
10.
no.
9, 10.
It's 7.
Yeah, there are 4 10s and 3 9s.
9s.
This is my
And
favorite
0
part.
8s. Even if we up the difficulty, this would be hard.
My favorite part of the game is just counting successes together.
It's all of the simple math.
You could have rolled for it to count for you.
One.
Do you do-
We're back in roll 20.
Do you do like greater than 1 less than the number or something?
Yeah,
One
it's just
less
greater than whatever the target is.
Okay, so difficulty is 6. You do greater than 5?
No, greater than 6, and it'll count the successes.
It counts 6 as a success.
Is
counts
it greater
6 as a
than-
success.
Okay, so
It
it's
is greater than or equal to, even though you just type greater than.
Okay, that's
I always just use a little die roller thing. I don't
less
know
than.
how
I
to
typed the
it is.
command, because once you type the command once, you can just hit up in the chat box, and it reloads your previous command, and you can just change how many dice you're rolling and what the difficulty is. It's really easy.
Okay, so what do we arrive at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
7.
Each of those represents 1 lethal damage. So that's a thing. That's a lot. That's
That's
torpor
for you.
in a roll.
Nice.
Oh, there's a 9. Okay, so 7. God damn it, 7 successes. So Augustyn, please give me a soak roll. That's going to be 3 dice.
It's not good.
Soak one of those.
One success.
He didn't do his damage roll. So you soak one of an unknown amount of damage. That's going to be 6 plus. How do we calculate damage for this? Damage is treated as if it's from a single bullet. So total pool is going to be 10 dice.
I was actually pretty lucky that all those successes only translate into dice instead of hits.
Oh, and I put in a homebrew rule that says if on automatic fire, 10s on the which was it? 10s on the damage roll represent headshots, which do lethal instead of bashing to vampires. But we have not yet done the damage roll. We just did the 2-hit roll. So I'm going to roll 10 dice here. One moment. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I don't have to do it on my table anymore. Roll 10 d10 greater than 6, because that's how the cool kids do it.
Oh, it's still so bad.
5, 6, 7, 8, representing 6 bashing and 2 lethal. The lethal is soaked first, so that's 6 bashing and 1 lethal. 1 lethal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bashing, but you cut that bashing total in half, so that's only 3 bashing. You are at the wounded health level. You have a wound penalty of 2 at the moment.
But you haven't spent any blood this turn.
Yeah, the one to animate to do his thaumaturgy and stuff.
So you could heal 2 levels of wound damage.
Okay, and even if you're taken out, your plant will remain animated for a couple turns in your memory. So Bravo 3, in a panic, pulls out a submachine gun, lights you up, and everyone's deafened with the sound of like 30 bullets just bouncing off there's a car behind you. You see it sparking off the walls. And you feel a bunch of bullets go into you. One of them passes right through your head, fucks up your clothes, pisses you off. And then you hear silence and just the reverb of this cacophony that just happened. And Bravo 3 is pulling on the trigger again. It's just click, 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 click. His magazine's out. So now Charlie 3 is going to try to wail on Darby. And it's going to be 7, and I think the difficulty is adjusted by Darby being held. Plus 2 dice, so that's 9 dice, but standard difficulty. Oh, I keep going to my physical dice. Roll 9d10 greater than 6. 5 successes, 4 carryover, and 4 damage. Let me see. Seven plus 4 is 11.
rolling on. You got to put those dice away.
Oh shit! I fucking did it again. I need to like literally put them away. Well, fortunately, it was a despite rolling 11 dice, only 2 successes. Darby, let's see what you soak from that.
It's 9 to soak. What's the difficulty now? Is it standard on soak rolls?
Standard difficulty.
6 plus 3 fortitude. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you got this.
Yeah, that's a soak.
Wow. So,
3 successes.
so you're being held from behind. One of your attackers just got grappled by a plant corpse, and the other attacker, weirdly unfazed by this, just hauls back haymaker right to your face. And you know that scene in Batman versus Superman when Batman's wailing on Superman and the kryptonite gas, whatever, wears off, and Superman just starts like taking the punches and not even like moving. That's what happens with Darby. You take this hit from this this dude who's bigger than you. This guy looks like easily he's carrying around 400 pounds. These are tremendous individuals. And he just slams into you like a cannon, and just held up and immobile. You're just staring at him. Which
So
is
for my celerity action,
yeah,
because I can't do what I had originally intended to do, so I don't have the guy in a hold.
you originally intended to throw the guy, like suplex
like
the guy.
spin him around, yeah. So I think because he's still got my arms pinned down, I'm instead, if I am allowed to audible here, right? Because circumstances have changed. Like I'd like to headbutt him in the face.
So the way it works, I actually asked on the Stack Overflow website series. They have a site specifically for people to ask for rule clarifications for role playing games, and there are a lot of good ones for Vampire the Masquerade. And I actually once specifically asked it, like, officially, what happens if your declared action becomes impossible? And the clear answer I got from everybody, that's also clarified in the book, is if your declared action is impossible, then you just can't do that and you lose that action. However, if you were already committed to doing, like the example was, like, what if my intention was to run through a door, but then the door gets closed and locked before I get there? The answer is, like, you run to the door, you might run into the door, but like that's it. Given that there's like a momentum to your actions, and we're talking about like things that you decide to do and try to do in the span of like a second, I think that it's not fair for Darby to do a wildly different thing, but it is fair for Darby to like commit to the thing that he was trying to do and maybe get a different result. So if
I have to do the same thing again, because I'm still at the beginning of this sequence that I had intended to do, that I have to use my action to repeat my failure from the beginning of the turn.
Well, I'll say you have 2 choices, because your declared action was to turn around and then throw the guy. You can either fail to turn around, but do try to throw the guy, just differently, or you can fail to turn around and then try a second time to turn around and get control of him. So I think option 1 is like pull him to the ground. Option 2 is to bear hug him back
And stay on my feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of those are actually that good. Does either choice result in a damage roll?
I
Taking that attacker out is my goal. Like, I want to kill him. I think he's closer to dead than the other one. I need to reduce the number of people attacking me. I want to hurt him. So whatever leads to hurting him, that's what I would like to do. If I have to grapple him first, if my toss could be a throw, that would be great. If I could like chuck him to the ground as a tackle or something, that would still count as my original declared action.
Yeah, I think your best move that's fair and legal and aligns with what Darby wants to do is to turn around and to try to bear hug him, so he would have control of the situation in the next round. But given that the actions that you declared were all based on just getting control and not doing damage, I think you're limited to just that space for this specific action.
The suplex wouldn't have done damage had I gotten control originally?
Yes, the suplex would have done damage.
So I intended to do damage with my second attack.
Shit, you're right.
But I can't. Now, because I didn't grab him first.
You gotta...
It's very punitive.
It is, kind of. You gotta get control, and then you could use that control as two separate things.
And he gets to resist again. He gets to roll all of his strength dice again to resist my attempt to overpower him a second time, despite not having burnt for celerity.
Well, let me give you one more option. If we imagine you're standing, another guy has got you in a bear hug, your arms are pinned down, your legs are free. The things you can do with your legs, including kicking. You can kick the guy. He's got kneecaps. That's right there. That would need to be on your next round, though, because you can't abort one aggressive action to change it to a different one. You can only abort to go to a different defensive action.
So essentially, it's like you've attacked and you've missed, so now you have a chance to defend. Is that right?
Attacking me anymore. This is my celerity action all by myself. Like, I attacked and I missed, and it seems like that miss has fucked this action as well.
Yeah, because you're trying to do a 1-2. You're trying to do a 1-2 thing, and the one missed. So if I were in your position, I would just try that first move a second time, and just say your celerity action is following through on.
And so my clarification on that is: does my opponent get to resist with the same ability that he spent his entire action to muster before? Does he get to bring the same resistance dice?
Oh yeah.
Because that seems double unfair. Like, he gets to double defend my attack that I burnt celerity for with the same dice. And he already threw me off not being able to damage him with that one good roll. And he gets to roll all those dice again? Like, that seems pretty hard. Yeah, I had to spend blood to get this many dice.
I would agree that it seems weird. Like, the rules don't really account for grappling with celerity. And you are not trying to get out of the hold, so to speak. You are just trying to change it so that you're both holding each other. So I'm going to say it is, especially considering all the other penalties imposed on you right now, I'm going to say this will be an unopposed roll to try to match his hold and hug him.
Rolled his strength plus potence plus brawl.
I think this feels like a dexterity. I don't know. Well, let's say yeah. I think there's an argument either way, but let's go strength plus potence plus brawl for this one. And
it's difficulty 8.
Correct. Yeah.
Because I have, what's the penalty for 2 assailants? So I only have 2 assailants now at the end of the turn.
Oh,
I had 3 before,
difficulty
and now I only
7,
have 2.
Then.
This is the most I've used my legal training in my entire career.
Proud of you.
3 successes.
1, 2, 3
This is
successes.
good info.
So at the end of the round, Darby, while being bear hugged, swivels around and muscles backward and latches onto the other guy, and they were just face to face. And now that you are face to face with this guy, you see that I don't know if you really picked up on this with the other guy that you bit to death, but they have like riot cop helmets. They have like plexiglass in front of their faces, but past that plexiglass, they're kind of bizarre looking faces. Like the jaws are a lot thicker and wider than you would expect. They look like cartoonishly like bruisers, like how bullies are drawn in cartoons, kind of just like weirdly boxy and stocky. I don't know if that was the best analogy, but
So let me ask, was there anything good that came from the extra 3 successes at all? Or indeed any benefit from rolling more than 1 dice in that grapple roll whatsoever?
I don't think so. For that, because you weren't doing damage with it. It's because you weren't doing damage with it, and because it wasn't opposed, you just needed to get 1 success. That's how the logic works out in my head. Cool. All right. So new round, round 5. Ovacxe, you see the 4 guys getting out of the SUV and walking up to the closed garage door. It absolutely looks like they are going to open it up. You see that this big garage door is right behind where Augustyn is. It's really close to where everybody is standing and fighting. Does Ovacxe do anything?
I mean, I already warned them that there were 4 more people coming. I don't know what else I could do for them. I don't know. Is there a way for me to like stop the garage door from opening from the security room?
You don't see any controls like that. You could always leave the security room, but you are trying
I'm still trying to
delete the footage.
delete the video. I'm still trying to delete the footage.
And speaking of which, give me a roll that is going to be 5 dice.
3.
That's 3 successes.
We're halfway there. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Round 5 starts. So Charlie 4, who's now locked in a hug with a death hug with Darby, is very confused. His eyes go wide, but he's confused about this, but he's committed to just continuing to hold on to Darby. He seems like he's depending on his buddies to beat up Darby for him. Charlie 1 is extra confused about a member of Team Bravo, supposedly, grappling with him all of a sudden. Charlie 1 is going to try to fight off that grapple. Charlie 3 is continuing to try to punch Darby in the head. Bravo 3 is now fully running away from Augustyn, just terrified, running off into the distance, actually the same direction that the squirrel in Paddington ran off to. What is Augustyn doing?
Okay. She did warn us more were coming. Charlie 2's dead. Charlie 1's occupied. Charlie 4's in a hold. I apologize. What did you say Charlie 3 was doing?
Punch and
Trying to
Darby.
shake off your dude. One behind me is grappling me. The one who I was fighting before is still fighting. The one that you grabbed is trying to shake off the tree.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the chaos, how difficult do you think it would be? Oh, God. How difficult would it be for me to, in the scrum, be able to just walk up and put a bullet betwixt Charlie 4's eyes?
A bullet betwixt.
Oh, the one that's grabbing Darby. Pretty easy.
He's wearing
actually.
The one that,
He is wearing a helmet.
okay.
Though.
I
But other
mean,
than that,
helmets
like,
take
The helmet
impact.
that
Do they
makes
take piercing?
the helmet makes that particular called shot less desirable because he gets extra defense on his head. But you can definitely shoot him.
Okay. So theoretically, I could say like called shot in the legs and might disembark you from your current entanglement for us to get out. Maybe. If I don't
can shoot him wherever he wants. You could split your dice pool and try to take a dexterity-based action to fit your gun up under the helmet if you wanted to be like that. There are options. It's limited by your creativity, which you have a terrifying amount of.
Mm-hmm.
The car right next to the fight that we're in does it? What can you tell me about it? What can I see about it?
It is a kind of generic looking boxy like company car. It's a 4-door kind of modest looking thing. It has a TCU logo on both sides of it. It's white.
And from the angle I'm in, I can't tell if there are keys in it.
It's not obvious to you whether there are keys in it or not.
Okay.
Okay. So the limits of my fungal ability are it has to be the surfaces, which is why I couldn't go for his face. I had to go for his neck. They're pretty heavily armored. So I can't.
I think you chose neck for some reason. I think you were trying to cut his head off, but you could have done face too.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you were trying to decapitate him with your power.
That tracks. I think that sounds right to me. I mean,
I'm just trying to think of the most efficient way to get us out of here. Like Paddington, as much as I worry about the departure of my beloved companion, he has animal instincts. He'll be fine. He'll find his way back, I'm sure.
You are right by the stairs.
But his departure doesn't. Yeah,
You can just run away.
But I need to get Darby out.
Aw.
I'm going towards
You could try to
Charlie
grab
4?
the two of them and be just a third addition to the hug and try to carry them.
Oh, no.
Damn. Okay, so yeah, I moved towards Charlie 4.
And you're going to shoot him?
Yeah. I'm trying to think which one I have a better chance of. Do I just try and disintegrate his face, or do I just shoot him until the clip is empty at point blank?
You can split your dice pool and try both. I mean, your chances of success are lower if you split your dice pool, but it's an option.
I'm going to keep it thematic. I'm going to scream and hope his face disintegrates. I will spend the blood and do my absolute bestest to just fungal decay the absolute dog shit out of his face, and hope that that's at least disarming enough to dislodge Darby from it, and then proceed as best as I'm able to get the fuck out of here.
Wow. What a nightmare.
I do want to remember, I have my shillelagh with me for the bonus casting, which I forgot on the last one.
We have to remember that.
So yes, I'm going to scream incoherently into this man and try and melt his face to dislodge Darby from this grapple.
Yeah, you have a -2 wound penalty, but that is compensated for by the bonus from your talisman, your magic shillelagh, so that's those even out.
You could also just totally heal right now, just before you did anything. It's just like reflexively, just heal yourself.
Would that count as an action though?
Nope.
You would either need to spend your whole turn healing or roll to try to heal, and it may or may not work.
Okay. Seems like we're in a pretty bad spot as it is, and with the shillelagh compensating for my wound roll, I'm more interested in getting you out of combat and getting us to safety. I'll worry about healing as we're fleeing. I will proceed to scream and melt face.
Okay, and screaming is your thaumaturgical incantation. We've established.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Okay.
Frantic screaming.
Spelled A.
Oh,
exclamation point.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a dead language.
So now it is once again Darby's time to shine. You have control of Charlie 4. You're holding each other. What are you going to do with this?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, again, I think Charlie 4 is about to die, so I am going to also try to kill him. I'm burning for celerity again. I guess I'm going for the bite. I'm gonna stop this middle sequence where I was going to throw. I've already got him in a successful grapple, so I'm gonna go for the bite.
Darby does remember the ace up his sleeve that he could use in combat, right?
The ace of his sleeve
that he got after diablerizing death.
I don't have that, do I? I thought that wore off. The tongue thing?
The tongue thing has never been used before in combat.
I thought I only had that for one day after the Diablerie or something. I did not think that was still in my bag of tricks. I thought that was a temporary bonus that is gone.
No,
that's great news.
I said that I wanted it to be temporary, but what I worked out was like a limited number of uses or a limited number of successes with it. Because otherwise,
not how I recall, but I'm happy to be able to use that. So remind me of the mechanics. It is an action that does aggravated damage. I can target it. I haven't used it before.
Yeah. All right. So the tongue of the asp. It doesn't describe what the attack roll is, but I assume it is dexterity plus. What's the ability for licking? I guess either brawl or athletics. I think athletics kind of makes more sense. We'll say dexterity plus athletics, and then it does strength damage. So you would roll your strength. I hope it comes across as fair for me to say it's weird to add potence to a licking roll.
Yeah.
So
I'm in there with some pressure.
God damn it.
When I'm done, you're not the same as you were before.
You're changed.
You're changed.
I think that's like the third or the fourth time we've made a reference to that scene in Mallrats.
Well, this one's like very appropriate. Right on point.
You're going to put this guy in a very difficult position.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
It's my boy. So it would be dexterity plus athletics to hit him with this razor sharp forked tongue that you have in your mouth. And it does your damage pool will be your strength rating, and it does aggravated wounds. And you can drink blood from the target on your next turn as if you had put your fangs into the victim's neck. So if you get a successful attack, you can elect to just leave your tongue in them, and on the next turn you could drink blood.
How is this better than biting? Like, I wouldn't have had to get him in a grapple first, but I did. They both do aggravated damage. I think they both get the same damage roll. That would have been the advantage, that you can do it at a distance.
I think biting might do slightly more. Biting is strength plus 1 damage. This is just strength damage, so it's a difference of 1 die.
It's worse.
Yeah.
Worse than biting. But I had to do this challenge first before I was even eligible to bite.
Correct. So is Darby's move to spin around, hold on to this guy face to face, and then just start stabbing through his head with this supernatural tongue that he got from the horseman death?
I actually think what I want to do is bite this guy and stab the other guy with my tongue.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like-
the tongue.
Could you help us envision what this would
Yeah.
look like?
Oh my God.
And I think it's gonna look like really fucking weird. So I like unveil the tongue, like mouth out. Like I've got like a rictus. I'm so pissed that this is happening. This is the guy that sliced me, I think. And I'm just like furious. And I show him the tongue, and it comes out. It's all creepy and prehensile. And then I wink at him, and I send the tongue at the other guy, and I chomp. And leave just enough space for my tongue. So
That was going to be my question. How do you close your teeth?
I'm just using the teeth like to rend, like leaving enough room for the tongue. So it's all happening at the same time. Just
Okay, so this
Why
this
the
has
mask?
2 actions. Like you would tongue and then you would bite.
this is 2 actions. Yeah. One's my celerity action.
Okay.
Mm.
So do you want to leave the tongue in the other guy so you can try to drink from both at the same
Yes.
time? Is that what you're
Yes,
going for?
that's my plan. I was gonna see if I could do double blood.
Well, I would say, normally I would say that's ludicrous. There's a limit on how much blood you can, there's only so much you can get through a throat at one time. But I think the way the tongue of the ass power is supposed to be interpreted is because your tongue just sticks in someone and blood comes through. I think the tongue works as a straw, which is
Yeah, like it's its own thing.
a
So there's
separate tube.
points in the tongue. Yeah, precisely.
So yeah, I'd allow that. So which one of those are you doing first? Which
I
of
want
the
to
attacks?
do the bite on the one in front of me first, because my hope is to kill him and have one less attacker for future attacks.
Okay, because he's closest to death. All right.
Yes.
So, all right. So let's do that roll. That is going to be dexterity plus brawl plus 1, because you're already holding the other guy. And anyway, yeah.
That's 6 plus. Do I have 5 brawl or 4? Hang on.
4.
6 plus 4 plus 1. So 11. That's not, celerity's not included because I burned for celerity. So that is right.
And difficulty is 7.
Yeah, back to 7 because okay. This is the to hit with the bite. Okay, it looks like 1 success. 2 successes.
Yeah, I see 2.
Yeah, I don't get specialization on this.
Yeah, correct. All right, so give me a strength plus potence plus 2 roll to determine damage.
I don't get to add my it's just strength plus potence.
Strength plus potence plus 2.
Only attributes. There's no ability in this damage calculation.
So bite damage is strength plus 1, and then you have 1 carryover success, and potence I think is fair to also apply to that. But no, this is just the damage roll.
Difficulty 7 on damage or standard difficulty?
Standard. I'm gonna say standard difficulty on this. See, 4.
Well, standard difficulty. Yeah, 4 successes.
All right. One moment. There is a soak roll. Sorry, how many successes was that? 4?
4. Or ag.
This is not going to be a very substantial soak roll, but all right.
Oh, took 3 aggravated damage. You did it.
Holy shit. Oh my god. So, yeah, you just chomp into this guy's neck, whose neck has already gone through quite a lot. The neck tastes.
Does it have like a mushroomy kind of?
There you go. It's very, you get a very shiitake kind of flavor.
Like umami.
And in fact, that's what he screams. So, Augustyn, you are trying to use your fungal mancy power to melt this guy's face. Give me, what was the level of that power? I forget. I gotta.
He's not already dead by the time he's attempting this.
No, he's screaming umami weirdly, and he's still flailing around. Let me see. So that is 4th level. So that'll be difficulty 7 on the willpower roll. So give me a willpower roll. Difficulty.
I'm so sorry. Did you apply his wound penalty correctly to his soak roll?
Oh, that would have applied to. He soaked 1.
He soaked 1, but he rolled a 7. And so I think that with his -2 wound penalty, that would not be a success. And in actuality, he would take 4 aggravated damage.
Correct. And that has been recorded. However, I still need a willpower roll from Augustyn, difficulty 7.
Do that. Incoming / roll 6d10. Boop. Pressing the button.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I have the willpower.
You sure do.
And then what was the roll for that? Intelligence plus occult, difficulty 7 again. So give me
Deep
that roll.
dice. I got you.
Oh, and sorry, you have other stuff that actually it cancels out, so it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 2, 6, 3 successes? 3 successes. And
Wasn't there a thing that I can?
Specialization on plant
I
magic?
was gonna say, I thought it was I can burn willpower to increase the aggravation or something of that effect.
you can, in fact.
You probably have to. Do you have to announce it in advance?
Actually, no. For this,
nice.
it doesn't work the same as the willpower things. You can, if you get a success, for every willpower you want to spend, you add an extra level of aggravated damage. So right now you did 1 level of aggravated damage, and you don't have a sense of, this guy's pretty fucked up. He's taken catastrophic damage so far. And you know that you've given him another level of aggravated damage. You see his face starts to bubble underneath that visor. And he's just keeps screaming, "Umami! Umami!" And his face is starting to cave in. Crazy stuff is happening to him. If you want to add injury to injury, you have the option of spending willpower to apply even more aggravated damage to him.
I take his screams of umami as him trying to establish sonic dominance over my ritualistic screams, and burn an additional willpower, increase the decibel level at which I'm screaming at him, and add an extra level of aggravated damage to his face.
Couldn't have yelled umami, bro. I was calling for my mommy. You weren't hearing me. And now I'm dead.
That is dark. So with that extra expenditure of energy, the guy's screaming, and you hear his voice get muffled as his jaw just kind of caves in, and he loses the structural integrity of his talking parts. And Darby, as you're face to face with this guy, you see his face just sink in and sort of recede into the back of his skull as his whole head gets dissolved, and his helmet just kind of falls off and lands beside you. And now you are holding just a headless guy.
I learned a new way to decapitate people.
I still intend to kill his friend with my celerity action.
Deal. So Bravo 3 is continuing to run off into the darkness, unopposed by anybody. He just seems to be fleeing in a blind panic. Charlie 3 is trying to take a swing at Darby. That's going to be unopposed, but he could always miss, so we're going to roll for that. Darby is no longer facing multiple attackers, so there's no bonus to these attacks or anything else. So one moment here. And we're going to roll for that. So that's 2 successes. And the damage roll for that, let me see. Jack shit is what they got from that damage roll.
Yep, not a bunch, but
Everything's coming up, Darby.
Ooh. Needed all the help I could get.
My God.
All
All right.
Jesus, praise be.
So let me do a quick opposed roll between OBS is kind of glitching out on me and not letting me use my button box to switch between my different screens, which is making like live editing the video a little tricky. I'm going to do a quick opposed roll between the two people who are grappling, Mike S. the Ficus and Charlie 1. Strength plus brawl, that'd be 8 plus Mike S. the Ficus's pool was, I think it was 4. Is that correct? It's 3.
4 aggregate, 3 attribute, and 1 ability. 1 brawl, 3 dice.
All right, and that's
strength as well, because it's all from Augustyn's willpower.
all right. Holy shit! Despite the big bruiser having twice the dice pool, he only got 1 success to Mike S. the Ficus's 2 successes. So
Don't fuck with the ficus, bro.
Augustyn's weird plant corpse homunculus has successfully held off Charlie 1.
I'm just imagining the oh god, what is it? The uncanny valley of movement that's occurring there. That just
Oh yeah,
The
deeply unsettling.
wacky wave
motions.
inflatable arm tube man movement going on.
going full executor. His head's actually on top of a fucking tree, just like
Is he
giraffe
aware?
attacking.
Is this guy like aware?
We don't know. He's
I
just
think
making
he's like
noises.
kind of a course. He's still making noise. He's barely alive.
Darby, you look over and you see, who's it? Bravo 2, who's doing the grappling. You see him shambling around, kind of looking like Edgar from Men in Black, and it looks a lot like something inside a corpse is propelling it. But you could swear that just for a moment, it glances over at you and like gives you kind of panicked eye contact.
Ooh.
Like,
Ooh, unsettling.
like there's somebody still in there.
Darby is so gross. Like, out of all of this, and he's doing some gross shit himself, but like he is horrified at what Augustyn is doing. Like, this is like the first time that he's really unleashed his skills in combat, and Darby finds this fucking disgusting. Like, this is a perversion.
There's going to be a degeneration roll for the two of you, definitely. So we are going to end the round with Darby rolling dexterity plus athletics to see if this other guy Charlie 3 is licked.
What's my difficulty here? Standard
difficulty. I don't think anything is interfering with that.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So 4 of those carry over, so that means your damage roll is going to be strength plus 4. So that's 7 plus 4, that's 11?
Standard difficulty again?
Yeah. Just a potential for 11 aggravated damage. That's it, no big deal.
Only 3, though.
Oh, man. All right, let me record this real quick. There is a soak roll, though. And that soak roll was
Oh,
tiny but successful.
That guy hasn't been hurt yet, right? So no penalties for him.
Correct. So, describe this to us again. You did like a wink and a bite, and then a sort of like out the side of your mouth.
Yeah, and it seems like because the guy like got fucked up immediately, it wasn't as simultaneous and bloody and crazy as I had imagined it. But it was sort of like a chomp, and the dude goes down, and Darby's like kind of disappointed, honestly, because all this was a show for him. And then out of the side of his mouth, because the other guy's hitting him, and Darby knows exactly where he is. Doesn't look at him and just boom. Hits him with the tongue.
Boom! Here's the tongue.
Oh! full John Madden.
All right. And at the end of the round, all of a sudden there's a loud clatter as the garage door is flung up, and you see 4 guys who are standing there looking similar to Bravo Team, but dressed a little differently. None of them have helmets on. They all have submachine guns like the others, and they're all standing there. And the guy that Ovacxe recognizes, sorry, I dead named Ovacxe, recognizes as Kurt from Club Wonderland, does that dad whistle, that really loud, shrill, like I can't do it, but you can imagine the like command attention, like train whistle thing that some people can do. And he whistles. He goes, "Whoa! The fuck is going on here?" And just everything seems to freeze for a moment. And I suggest that is the conclusion of tonight's session.
Yeah, combat has gone on a long time. It will continue.
Unless if Act 2 of this is negotiation and friendship.
I gotta say, we are just
into a tree, man. I think we're past that.
Darby is full on, like, he's not blood frenzying, but he might as well be. Like, he is pissed. They made him bleed his own blood. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Classic Simpsons.
The fact that he had the wherewithal to go, the fuck is going on here? 1 indicates power level, but 2 indicates that diplomacy is still an option for some reason.
Oh, I'm sure Augustyn can pull something out of it. Don't worry, I'm a doctor.
just imagine Darby, like, with his tongue in the guy next to him, just like, oh, what? Nothing going on. Everything's cool. What? No, we're buddies. I don't really think he's going to be able to social his way out of this one.
But Darby is dressed as a member of the TCU Guard, which...
That's true. But he has his big creepy tongue buried in this dude currently. So
phrasing.
Harder to pull that off.
Fun. All right. So
I mean, like, 4 guys with guns just showed up. So I'm not exact. I'm still thinking we are in some danger, some trouble here.
Yeah, and I was today years old when I found out I was allergic to bullets. Like, those guys have so many bullets.
Yeah, emptying the magazine, that was scary. That was a lot of dice.
Yeah. But there are still options other than fighting. Of course, this is an open-ended sandbox kind of game. You guys are right by the stairs, so there is an option. There's also, you eyed that car that was next to you. If there are keys in it, you could try to hop in it and just drive out of there.
And just abandon Ovacxe. Just leave her up there.
There's and you'd be abandoning Paddington too, and the squirrel Squirrel.
That's a problem.
But
Lighter bitches.
it could go all sorts of ways.
Deuces, you fucks.
Okay, so first off, there were two murders that happened. Gonna need degeneration rolls from Darby and Augustyn. Let me just double check.
Sir, is it murder? I think this is a frivolous
Self-defense.
allegation. This is clearly self-defense.
Being attacked by monsters. These aren't even people. I didn't kill people.
Yeah, they're
Died like
less than
These are like
people.
actual comic book monsters. I have to feel like remorse for killing them.
Well, that depends on your humanity, which is 5. And let's see. At humanity of 5, you would still need to do a degeneration roll for sins such as intentional property damage. I think murdering these folks is
Intentional.
even
I
though
think
they're
folks
monsters.
is a strong word. They're like walking stone golems. They are literal flesh golems.
that scream for their mommies and bleed and try
The
to
mom
defend themselves.
joke. That's what happened. I made the mom pun, and now I got to make a humanity roll.
They clearly
It's a
wanted
bunch
to
of bullshit.
live. You
All
could
right.
relate to them, and you didn't give a
Okay.
shit.
They
were in your way.
What's the Darby is just quickly. I just lost the humanity like 2 sessions.
The
Stop killing people, you say? Well, no, I'm not going to be doing
these violent delights. So the default difficulty for all degeneration rolls is 8.
Get your conscience dice.
It's conscience dice. I'm gonna say. Let me check something real quick. Let's say. Yep, that's correct. 8. So your conscience dice are, I see 3 for that.
I wish I could roll 13 and 10, but no, it's not.
Got it.
Got it.
Got that 8.
I do feel bad about killing that monster. I
Okay,
guess.
so for humanity checks, we have to roll conscious, not or bearing on humanity.
Correct. Your level of humanity determines
How often you got to do this shit. What
Yeah,
kind of
like-
things set you
Okay.
off?
whether or not the thing that you did rises to the level that it hurts your humanity. Because if you have a really high humanity, then like littering could be a violation of it. If you have a really low humanity, you can occasionally kill people and it doesn't affect you. You don't even have to roll for it. You have to really start doing monstrous things to degenerate further. And just a
But if you're like being
reminder-
a hero, killing a monster doesn't count, I guess.
That's kind of the theme of the game. It's a personal horror thing and fighting against what feels like an inevitable slide into losing control. But
I
just a
think
reminder,
tonight's the night, man.
The day is not that day.
ages ago,
I think
all of you encountered a soft-spoken nightclub DJ Toreador who heavily implied that he could do a ritual with you folks to give you increased virtues for a night, including conscience, which would make it easier for you to go out on a killing spree and not lose humanity for it. This remains as an option if you want to buff before a battle in that way. I believe when this was introduced to the group, it was dismissed with Blake saying, "Yeah, we know what a bard is," and which I found pretty fun.
Harsh
But
but fair.
Cool. I think this is the night I lose. I'm going to lose a humanity, but I'm going to try it.
4 dice, difficulty 8.
40, 10.
It is honestly amazing
Oh,
that you have
whoa.
it at this point. Oh,
You
wow.
got it.
One in there, but
My unchecked murder spree continues. I've learned nothing.
I
Do you
think.
still have 6 humanity?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Augustyn is just.
Unbelievable.
Augustyn is God's chosen angel of death. He is. This is his purpose.
In his own mind, for sure. He's like, oh man, I really shouldn't have done that. Oh well, here we go. On to the next one.
just
I'm gonna put a plant in your spleen.
putting the casual in casualty.
Yeah, seriously.
So
He set that tone from like night 1. It's like, yeah, it's like get out my blades and I put him right in his gut. Like what, in the street in front of everybody? Yeah, I just murdered that guy.
So I start black.
Okay.
All right. So Excavo, you have 6 experience points. Do you have a hankering? Also, this brings up the question of, because you now have 2 character sheets. What I wanted to do was when you first turn into Ovacxe, the number of dots you have on Excavo's sheets, you have the same number of dots on Ovacxe's sheet, so they're kind of equivalent. But from that point forward, it makes the most sense to me to say when you spend experience points, they go onto the character sheet that you were using tonight.
Earned. Yeah, like earned. Okay.
That feels
But I
really
have
good.
the same number of experience points in total to use between the two.
That's
so, like,
what I think would be fair, which is that you
So I could use.
then it's like
6
a really big,
experience
it's
points
like a
to buy
huge
something.
benefit. Like I don't know, that's really tough mix. I don't know what the right thing to do is, Graham, but I think the way
It's
you
like-
described it is actually too harsh.
Because
Well-
I was because I was Ovacxe for 2 sessions, so I should have 4 points available for Ovacxe.
Well, I'm
and 2
simplifying
points
it
available
even
for-
further than that. You have 6 points,
Okay.
and if you want to spend them, because I don't want to keep track of who earns what, I'll just say you have 6 points, and you can spend them however you want. But those points either go on to Ovacxe's sheet or Excavo's sheet. So you can say they all go on to Ovacxe's sheet to gain something, or you can say I want to hold on to this because I know that Ovacxe is like the occasional personality that only comes out when Excavo takes damage, and Excavo is like the most of the time personality. You can hold on to those points and save them for Excavo's character sheet.
Okay, I see what you mean. I mean, it would be really useful to put a dot in stealth on a Ovacxe sheet right now, because I snuck into this room and I've not been caught. I don't know. Everybody's distracted, I guess.
You can afford that.
How many points is that? 3
6.
For
for the first
you
dot
have
stealth?
3, but the first dot of a new attribute is 3.
Yeah. So it would cost 3 dots. Cost 3 points to
3
get that
points
dot.
to get
Yeah.
1 dot
Right.
and a net new ability.
You have
Right.
Ovacxe
Yes.
has 3 dots in stealth. A 4th dot would
wait.
Oh.
cost 6
My
points.
sheet's wrong. Okay.
You
never
already
mind.
have 3 dots of stealth.
No. I want to think about it more. I want to hold on to them.
Okay.
I need to update this.
And you could always tell me between sessions how you'd like to spend points.
Sure.
Darby has 10 points and is saving up until he gets 15 for the 4th dot of fortitude. Is that still the case?
That is still the case.
Dope.
I am earning these fortitude points. I am just taking hits. Took hits all session today.
Augustyn was saving up for the 5th dot of manipulation, and that would cost attribute current. That would be 16, and he currently has 11. So, is that still your plan?
if I manipulate the shit out of these dudes walking through the door, I think I earn myself, a couple extra XP and an auto level up. Just like let's go. I'm master manipulator. But yeah,
Not
I
how
think
any of this works. But if you
No, it's not.
if you talk us out of this, I will be very impressed.
Look, I learned my lawyering from watching you. This is the superficial approximation of what I have deduced from your other skills.
I went full rules lawyer today in my own defense, so I did not get killed by those brutes.
No.
Two of you have dominate. Ovacxe even has dementation, which a.k.a. does not have, and there's options there. Ovacxe even has enough obfuscate to look like someone else, like an authority figure. There's lots of creative things that can happen with
that might be what I have to do if somebody busts in here.
Just try to get from the top floor to the basement as fast as possible.
Just look like I'm on their side, then
jump out a window, land with a splat, and be like, I'm your boss.
Do that.
Go home.
I'm your boss.
Superhero landing. You don't know me, but I am definitely the alpha here.
Jedi mind trick. I always show up that way. This is
all right. If somebody comes into this security room,
for Darby, that's true. Like he literally trebuchemies his way across town. Isn't that how I got here in the first place? Like I'm pretty sure that's just my mode of transportation now.
You landed just short of the building and kind of like skipped like a rock across the street.
Yeah, I don't remember it being very artful, but I do remember getting to where I wanted to go. So we count that as a win.
All right. So do we have any other feedback or notes about this session or our plans for the next one?
Well, we got to get through this and get Blake alive.
Now is the survive component. We survived to survive. Now we've got to continue to survive.
I think the odds are slightly better than they were at the end of our last session, where I was pretty convinced we were fucked in the combat.
It could have worked out that way.
Juncture.
Pretty easily.
We got fortunate rolls tonight, but we're not out of the woods. We are in no way out of the woods here. The action economy rules all in this game.
Augustyn could have been taken out pretty easily by that one submachine gun, and now that there are 4 more that just showed up. So some of the complications to keep in mind: Squirrel and Paddington, if we care about them, they ran off. They're weird whispers, which you can just go ahead and ignore or consider a concern. Ovacxe is a.k.a.'s combat mode and could do a bunch to help, but is playing Oracle. She's trying to erase the security footage, which might take another couple rounds, possibly.
Yeah, for Masquerade.
The girl in the chair.
And there's one more combatant in the parking garage other than the 4 that just showed up. You do have an escape route through the stairs. And a few other things. There's still the 2 guys grappling. There's some of the wild cards. There's one other guard on the 2nd floor that seems to be on his way to this. People are hearing what's happening on the radio. They hear Ovacxe coming over the PA system. That may or may not have alerted other people. There's still a lot of chaos to this. So looking forward to that.
All right, I'll be back on my regular setup next time.
Dope.
Yeah, thanks for the awesome session, and I appreciate you giving us the creative freedom to express our internal distortions.
Yeah, and I am sorry if in my advocacy not to get screwed over or to die, I sounded too harsh or mean. I was just making sure that nothing bad happened to Darby that wasn't fair.
No, I'm like ghosty.
And if anything ever seems unclear, if it seems like I missed something or I'm screwing something up, or if the dice rolls just don't seem to make narrative sense, like, which seem to be the basis of what you were bringing up. I do encourage you to bring it up because I do miss some things occasionally. And we should all try to keep each other honest. Because otherwise the game's no fun if there aren't constraints that we have to work inside of.
For sure. And the trust level is high. Like at no point where did I have any second thought about not using roll 20 for the dice, for example. Like we're all in this for the same purpose of seeing what happens. Anytime you get deep into genre, though, the important thing is that you stay true to your own internal rule set that you all agree to. And that's what I just wanted to make sure that we were doing it. And I am satisfied that we did.
And setbacks can be fun. Setbacks make for more interesting stories. So
why Superman is the most boring superhero.
I'm just glad we have, to this point, averted having to catch Blake up to speed and he's like, oh, hey guys, I can't wait to get back in. What did I miss? And they're like, oh, the story's over.
Like literally one fight. But like maybe Famine is here. Like it is entirely possible. We just turn the corner. It's just like, oh yeah, Famine is just here.
Hey, what's up?
Well,
where's the chessboard?
my metagame theory is that the whispers have something to do with the ritual, and that we should sniff that out. Now that Kurt is here.
Well, you of course have the option if it's smarter to flee. You know where this place is. You can always return back to it.
It's definitely smarter to flee. But is that going to be what Darby does? We shall see.
Honestly, this whole setup, this fight, it was my intention to load it up with more difficulty than we've had before, because this represents like you wanted to go into a layer of bad guys, and typically that's the kind of thing that you can't just charge into and like 1v everyone and expect it to work out well for you. So that's kind of how this whole thing was set up. It was set up to be like, oh, this is where the total party kill would happen.
We should leave. This is not smart. I definitely, once I saw the 4 guys, I was like, Graham is trying to tell me that we probably won't win this fight and we should find another creative way.
Like, hey, the stairs are over here.
And then it's just like,
here.
Darby cannot get out of his own way.
To be honest, all cards on the table. What I was expecting out of this whole encounter was for the group to be humbled and to have to face the fact that they have to do some more careful planning and get the help of more allies to face a challenge this big. The way it's played out so far is you guys have just barely managed to actually hold your own. And given that you're not out of blood and you haven't taken too much damage. Augustyn's taken damage that he can heal, especially if there's going to be like a few rounds of just talking. It is actually possible for this trajectory to conclude with all of the bad guys dying.
They learned nothing.
And you walking away from
that is really funny narratively. and I think encourages you to dial up the unfairness level even more.
Try harder
in the future, which I am intrigued at what you'll come up with. I'm not saying that we're definitely just going to Leroy Jenkins our way into the rest of the combat, but I also see that potential outcome if the dice are kind.
I just imagine the garage door flips open. Kurt's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And we're both just sitting there, covered in a pool of blood, just going, "I didn't hear no bell."
Yeah.
Well, I also all
that's
all
up to
cards
you,
on the table. What I could have done is just said, like, as long as you're alive, there are more people coming out. I didn't like that. There are a specific number of specific dudes, entities in this building, And I can say this is what Ovacxe would have suspected, seeing everything on the security cameras. You've seen most of them. There is a finite number of bad guys that you can actually defeat all of. So this is not an encounter where I'm going to be like putting my thumb on the scale and saying it's going too well, so I'm going to introduce new things that I wouldn't have otherwise introduced. As soon as Darby entered the building, the die was cast, and everything that was going to happen from that point on, in terms of like NPCs being there and what their actions were, those were set. So I'm not going to, just like spawn more bad guys to ramp up the difficulty. Now there may
That's
be
fair.
consequences
sure.
to you stomping in here and killing a bunch of people and leaving. That might mean whoever was responsible for those guys being there might be like, oh, well, I need to get more guys in there next time.
Right. So it's almost logical for us to try to stamp out this entire faction so that doesn't happen.
I'm certain that Darby feels that way.
We have to cut them out root and branch.
I had to do this.
Going with the tree metaphors.
That's right.
We have to find the queen. Oh, I missed your. That's a good pun.
All right. Until next time.
And then we'll be back
session, guys.
Another thorny situation.
Love you guys. Have a good night.
Should that be the title, the episode title?
A thorny situation. I'm into it.
I'll if I don't find any other better quote, I'll go with that.
Sounds good, brother.
Bye, guys.
You have a good night, man.
Love you.
Peace.